fishing hole. Grab your hat, get your pole. Let's go fishing when you're in the mood.
Canadian Sport Fishing has been brought to you in part by Rapala, premium fishing gear crafted from experience. Yamaha, conquer outdoors. Dickies, quality workwear since 1922. Northeastern Ontario, undeniably big, unbelievably close.
I love the hot days of summer. When temperatures soar over 80 degrees Fahrenheit, everything is green and lush. There's lots of bugs in the air. I don't mind the humidity. That's when I can pursue one of my favorite fish that loves to feed in shallow, weedy water. I'm talking about fishing for largemouth bass that are on the prowl around weed beds, lily pads, sometimes in water as shallow as 2 to 4 feet. And they're there for one thing, to feed. All you have to do is make a good presentation, and usually the hits are violent.
Oh, nice.
Dave, this fish came right out of those lily pads.
Right where he was supposed to
Now,
be.
I have bad news for you. I don't have a net.
No
so
net.
what I'm going to do is walk it back here. He's got a whole bunch of weeds, so it's hard for him to fight.
Can I do the honors on the,
Oh yeah,
the first
please
fish here?
do. By the way, this is Dave Neal. Dave is with Rapala, and the last time we fished together, we were on Couchiching, howling winds. Remember how tough it was?
That was a tough day, it
we
really
got some
was.
bass, we got a nice pike, but man, it was tough fishing.
It was.
This is the first fish. We just started casting because we're going to be experimenting with some topwater lures, some weedless lures, 19 inches.
Great.
That's not bad.
Excellent start. You want to
Yeah.
let him go?
Yeah.
Okay.
What a beauty. Great start, Dave.
That's an excellent start. There he goes.
Good
Perfect.
one.
Well done.
Now look at this. Look at the scene behind us. You know what that spells? B-A-S-S, right?
Amazing. Yeah,
Come on.
I see that now.
And we've got all day. So this is kind of nice because we had a little bit of work coming into this lake. We had to drive down and take the boat off the truck and mess around. As a matter of fact, it's literally lunchtime. So it was like 4 or 5 hours just to get in here and launch it. In many of our high-populated lakes, bass anglers really pound the waters. And there's very limited areas where you can actually enjoy some of this really shallow weed bed bass fishing. That's why this week I chose to explore a back lake and to do a little bit of work to get back there, but fish an area that very few people have access to, where I know the fishing is going to be good. To get into many of these secluded lakes, there aren't really very good trails, and most people use ATVs, and they take in either canoes or kayaks or small portable boats. This week, I'm a little bit more adventurous. I'm actually taking the truck and taking the G3 boat. The only challenge is some of the areas are pretty difficult to negotiate, and there's no boat launch.
Nice.
That's okay, I don't mind the small ones, Dave. This is where I gotta do the tournament thing. Get them in the boat, right?
Right into the boat.
Nice little
work.
largemouth. They're all good fish. Those are practice, that's what I call them, practice bass.
It's warm-up. It's the warm-up.
Exactly.
You got another one.
I can't help it. I've got bass fever, Dave. There's no cure.
I hope it's contagious.
Here, I'm just gonna walk back here, and I'm gonna flip him in the boat. Listen, you catch one while I'm doing this, okay?
I'll try.
Okay. Look it. Nice largemouth. You can see that we're getting them right out of the weeds. Look at this nice, actually these are kind of red underneath. They're beautiful. And he's got that frog imitation right in the side of the mouth. There's one thing getting these bass, you know, on different lures, but to see them come up and just smash a top water, and then having the discipline not to set the hook when you see the fish hit, but actually set the hook when you feel the fish on, takes a lot of discipline. Look at, nice little largemouth. Now, Dave, you don't want to hook these little guys. I think you want to get those 3 to 5 pounders.
I'll let you handle those, and you can weed through those ones.
Okay.
Closed captioning is brought to you by MD Marine Insurance. Boat insurance made easy.
Many of these back lakes are natural. They're referred to as pothole lakes. Others are part of a beaver system where beavers have created a dam, and then it's actually become a lake on the river. And the bass that are there thrive there because there's lots of food and lots of cover. That's why these lakes are remote, but they can be real breeding grounds for some really trophy bass. All right, Dave. He's not that small.
He's not bad. It's a good,
no.
it's a good start.
If we were tournament fishing, that fish would be going in the well. Because most tournaments, it's 12 inches, right? So yeah, he's 2 pounds, 2.5.
Might just qualify.
Oh, yeah. Then we get the big kicker fish, and let them go. You're so fast with your fish. Okay, and I noticed that you're not using braid. What's with that? Come on.
Well, this is actually a castable fluorocarbon. So
Okay.
this is a new line from Suffolk, and it's virtually invisible underwater. So
Okay, well, it's almost invisible out of the water, too,
it is
compared to the
yeah,
braid.
Yeah, so it's a lighter line approach, and seems to work.
Oh, right. On the twitch bait. Good one.
That's on the shadow wrap. Nice.
Yeah. Like I say, you're a pretty bold fisherman. I'm throwing into the lily pads and you're throwing shadow wrap. Okay. You know what? Hey, it fools a fish. That's perfect.
Sometimes it's about finesse.
Yep. He's got tons of energy. I don't think that's the fish that was in the lily pads.
No, I think he was a little further away.
Yeah, he was free swimming. I like that bright color too because we got this stained water. It's kind of a lime color. That color of that lure is perfect.
Yeah, I think it's a nice match.
Kind of blends in with all the lily pads, you know what I mean?
It does.
It's nice and green. Nice
Looks
largemouth,
good.
2-pounder. Yep.
Good on the jerk bait.
Perfect. Man, they got tons of energy. You know what? I don't think that water is as warm as I thought it would be. When I was fishing up north, it was like 80 degrees. But this is a little bit cooler.
Yeah, I think it's got to be between 75 and 80 or so. Maybe there's a spring.
You know what? I bet you're right. Because I don't think there's an inlet or a outflow,
Right.
to this lake. It's just one of these small lakes. That's good. It's nice to know that they're hitting a variety of presentations. I have two strategies when it comes to fishing some of these wilderness back lakes for bass. If I arrive there early enough in the morning, I'll usually start fishing the open water and targeting bass that are cruising off the shorelines because I know they're searching for food. That's where I can use crankbaits, twitch baits, surface lures that look more like bait fish that are longer that I can work from side to side. As the day progresses, I know the bass will move under cover and look for some of the thickest lily pads and other weeds that are on the surface of the water. And that's where you have to use lures like plastic frogs, you use spoons that float on the surface, you can use plastic worms, but you have to be able to run those lures weedless along the top of the vegetation and try to get a fish to come up and actually strike at it. Yeah, he was just before this slop thing, right? So maybe he's right underneath it now.
No, that's no good either.
He's still on. Try to put my back. See that back into it? I just leaned back on that pro seat. I think he's still on. Don't know how big he is because he anchored himself. This is one of the things you have to deal with when you hook a fish in this thick stuff. I tried my hardest to get him out, and I'm using a pretty heavy action rod, and sometimes they just go down. So I'm going to go in, see if he's still there. Come on. I can't. He's got to be down there somewhere. I felt a shake. Dave, would you mind jumping in and seeing what he's caught on? Did you hear that? It was a, I don't think so. Look, can you see the fish there? He's anchored in this weeds. If he gets off, it's okay. We'll call this a landed fish. Something's gonna, man, that is a tough weed. I gotta get back up there. I don't wanna lose my lure. Can't believe this. Little lily pads you think would break. That fish is only about 2 pounds. Still on there or not? Yeah, he's still on there. Actually, I'm gonna have to go right up to it. So it's called fishing the weeds. Okay, I don't know what to do here. Maybe I'll pull, something's gonna give. I can't get over how strong that weed is. And of course, we're professional. We don't need a net today. Okay, let's try this again here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, this stuff has been in the electric. Look it. That's not a big bass. It's maybe 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. Hooked really well in the side of the mouth, but I can't get over this vegetation, these little lily pads. The stem is like, I'm gonna drop this guy now, I'll show you this stuff here. He's about going back in the water. This stuff is like fishing line. I mean, my fishing line is in there, but it's so tough, I couldn't break it with like 30-pound braid. This stuff right here, I guess it's one thing when you get one of them, but when you get like multiples of them, it's really strong stuff. Wow. One of the main advantages of using the lures in open water is that you can cover a wide area and fish them pretty quickly. Crankbaits you cast and retrieve, twitch baits you can work pretty fast, even topwater lures you can work pretty fast. But when it comes to fishing the heavy cover, you have to slow down. And you look for areas where either there's thicker vegetation with open pockets around it, or you cast to the edge of the really thick weeds where they meet the open water. And that means making your presentation look really lifelike. So it's fishing it slow, whether it's a plastic frog or a plastic spoon or using a plastic worm. And then when you get to a pocket, you let it drop down in case a fish was following it, and a lot of times they'll come out and grab it.
Fish.
Okay, good. Nice one, good hook set. He's got some size. See if you can swing him around this way to the left. Look at you, like a pro. Okay, what are you gonna flip him in the boat? What are you gonna do?
We could do that. We could do that.
Okay, I'm gonna watch the master here at work. Perfect, here, I'll grab him for you.
Thank you.
Look at that, you hooked him perfectly, right in the side. I think you're using the same hook I am. Those are sharp hooks, boy.
They are, that's the Gamakatsu worm hook.
Is it a 6-aught or 7-aught?
That's about a 6-aught.
Yeah, it's a good size hook.
Yeah.
Nice, look at now, this guy's healthy. He's a little bit more silver. He's got a nice plump belly.
Dark on the back.
Yep.
That's a nice little fish. Let's let him go.
Sure. You know, we're not doing too bad, Dave. We're getting a variety of sizes. But you know, I keep telling people the older I get, it's about the experience. You know, it's nice to get a big fish, but it's just being out here.
Sometimes it's more about the experience. Just, you know, to be out here on a little lake all by ourselves, nobody else out here.
I agree. No traffic, no personal watercrafts. I haven't seen any yet.
That's right, not one. That's not a bad fish.
Nice one, Dave. Did you see him hit?
I didn't see him hit. He was out a little bit too far, but he really did hit it hard.
Yeah.
Shadow wrap shad.
Yeah. It's interesting, middle of the day and the bright color's working well, eh? So I think you definitely got that fish to strike. Careful, those hooks are sharp. That new fluorocarbon seems to be working okay.
Yeah, it seems to be holding up well. We got a lot of cover in the water here. There's a lot of weed, and I think the abrasion resistance is fine.
Yes! What a nice hit.
That's a good one.
Okay, can you get him in? It's a good test for the gear, you know that? For the rods and reels and everything.
Craned him right in there.
Can you tell this is a rattling lure? I can hear it, eh? When it starts shaking and jumping. He hit that nicely. I mean, one of the things that I love about topwater is the hit. Come on, it's like that's...
There's really not much better in fishing than a topwater hit.
Nice little largemouth. Now, I gotta let you in on something. This is a new feature. Can you see the bottom of this thing? It's kind of got a keel. Isn't that neat? What that does is it actually grabs the water, it bites. So when you pull it, instead of having a round belly, just like the back, like most lures like this, it actually bites right and bites left. When you're fishing this open water, the bass can be cruising just below the surface, so you have to be ready for a strike at any time. A lot of times you cast to the weeds and maybe you don't get a strike, and then you cast away in open water and you actually hook a fish. So it's a really good idea to anticipate a strike on virtually any cast. You got to be careful when you grab them. Those hooks are sharp.
Yeah, with those VMCs,
Oh, yeah.
they're extremely sharp hooks, but
Very nice.
we'll get him back.
The nice thing about these fish is you can get them all day long. That's what I like, Dave.
Absolutely.
It could be the hottest day in the summer. They just seem to feed nonstop.
Yep.
Just have to find them.
They're hungry.
Yep. When I'm using these artificial lures in open water, I also look for irregularities along the shoreline. So sometimes when we're fishing very large, weedy areas that has open water, if I spot a rocky shoreline, it's like a calling card. I'll move over to it and I'll start casting those topwater lures and the crankbaits right along the rocky breaks. The water may not be deep, but there's probably a lack of vegetation. And a lot of time, that's a good place to intercept those cruising fish.
There he is.
All right, Dave. Middle of the day bass.
Yeah, not bad. Right off the weed line.
Good.
I'm twitching that shadow wrap along.
Man, you got a lot of confidence in it, eh?
This one might be a little bit better than some of the others so far.
Looks like
for
it's
me,
got weight
anyways.
to it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's a nice fish. I'm guessing it's going to be 3 to 4 pounds.
Strong little fish. There he is.
He's not that little.
No, he's a good one. He's a good one.
You're putting on a show for me. Nice head shake. I'm going to watch the pro land it here. Just like those guys on TV. Look at that. That's a nice bass. Victory.
That's a good one.
Nice largemouth. You know what? He's going to be over 4. Where's my funny tape measure? Right here. Let Dr. Labignan come in. Yeah, that's a largemouth.
It is.
Yeah. I mean a large mouth, right? Okay, well, you do that. We're gonna, that's right there. Ooh, you know what? He's 19. Yours
19
is
inches?
heavier though.
Yeah.
That's a good fish. That's a
is-
solid
that's a
4-pounder.
nice fish, yeah.
Oh yeah, well done.
Shadow wrap.
Man, you know what? They're not coming up for the top water.
No.
Those buggers, I might have to put something on like that and just work it below the surface.
Yeah, a little bit deeper.
Now this
Seems
is,
to do the trick.
you know, interesting. I talk to people about striking and feeding presentations. I'm a firm believer that in the middle of the day, when the fish aren't necessarily feeding, you can get them to strike. And I think this is definitely a striking color.
Sure, yeah, and
'Cause-
it's a bait that agitates them and they want to go.
And it also
go after
rattles, right? Very, very important. You know what? I wouldn't change it for a while.
I
I'd keep
won't.
it on there.
I think I will.
Okay.
It's too bad it's the only one in the boat.
That's okay. You use it.
Just kidding. Get her back in the water. There she goes. Good fish.
Nice. Classic largemouth.
Right on the edge of the pads.
And he grabbed it too. He wasn't going to miss it. Come on. You going to jump again? How about you jump right in? Yeah, right into the boat. You know, this is a good example of teamwork. Dave just cast over there with the shadow wrap, and I just cast thinking that maybe I should throw it in further into the lily pads. And I think maybe you primed that guy. You know that?
I think you were running clean up there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, the vacuum cleaner. Nice fish. Mr. Bass. Time to go back to your pads. There.
Nice work.
You know what?
Good fish.
It hasn't been easy. We got to admit, right? We've had a few issues trying to get to some of the spots, but we're getting the odd fish. You just got a 19-incher.
Yeah,
That was probably about a 17, like a solid 2.5, 3-pounder. So we're not giving up, that's for sure.
They're here. Takes a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit of work.
Yeah.
but,
Wilderness bass fishing takes a bit of work to get into a lake. You have to be ready for bugs because in the summertime it's normal to have all kinds of biting insects. But you take precautions, you take bug spray. And once you get out on the water, actually, when there's a little bit of a breeze, the bugs aren't a problem. In many cases, these lakes hold some really big bass that if they're not caught, they actually die of old age. Number 6, this guy's gonna win the award. Number 7, now he's getting tired. Okay.
He's a jumper. He's done now.
You know, a lot of times I'll use a net because the G3 is so high, but it's fun to just flip them in the boat too,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah,
I know, there's a macho thing about it until you break a rod, until somebody gets hurt,
that
right?
can
It's one of
happen.
those. You know what, this guy's hook's so good. I need the pliers. Man, those hooks are sharp. There. You know, they're not messing around now. Earlier, they weren't hitting this strong. Little guy, but so aggressive, eh?
You're right, yeah.
Wow. Mr. Bass, drop, and gone. Are you using a really wimpy rod, or is that a nice fish?
I think it might be an okay fish. He came up and hit the top water after I...
Oh yeah, that's an okay fish. You can tell by the size of the swirl with their tail.
I just switched over to the chug bug there with a real slow presentation.
Very nice. I don't know if he's gonna fall off. You be careful. Oh yeah, respectable.
That's a little better.
3-pounder. Big head. So was it stationary when it hit?
Yeah, it was basically a sort of a slow popping
Yeah.
retrieve with about a 1-minute second pause in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice largie.
You can go back. There he
No
goes.
problem taking off, eh? Man, how many different baits have we used today? 6, 7? Caught fish on all of them?
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to be hitting most of them, which is
Yep.
good.
Canadian Sport Fishing has been brought to you in part by Rapala, premium fishing gear crafted from experience. Yamaha, conquer outdoors. Dickies, quality workwear since 1922. Northeastern Ontario, undeniably big, unbelievably close.
I need to practice. You know what? I'm going to stay back here. I've got this remote. I keep forgetting I got the remote around my neck, right? So I can
Okay,
fish
so
anywhere in
you
the
can
boat.
still drive.
Yeah. So I'm going to get you into the best position without flipping into the lake.
Appreciate that.
All we have is, look, how many yards? 1, 2, 3, 5 football fields. No, more than that. I can't drive the ball that far. That's like 700 yards. And that's just in this area.